Hey guys, it's Dr. Wolf, and this is my sous chef Ada, and today we are going to show you a complete and balanced homemade dog food recipe that is perfect for anybody short on time or on a budget. This recipe only requires 8 ingredients and takes less than an hour to meal prep. So if that sounds good to you, stick around for the full tutorial and the end of the video where I'm going to share the full cost breakdown of this recipe. Now, before we jump in, please be aware that this recipe is meant for adult dogs only. So please do not use this recipe for growing puppies, and it is also only meant for adult dogs who are healthy. It's not going to be appropriate for pets with underlying medical conditions such as kidney disease or pancreatitis. If you do have a puppy or a pet with underlying medical conditions and you want help with a custom recipe, check the description below where I have put a link for my one-on-one consultation service. So this is a one-pot recipe, and of course the size of the pot that you'll need will depend on your dog's size as well as the amount of food that you are prepping. But for this specific recipe that I'm showing you, I am cooking for my 10-pound dog and I am making her 9 days worth of food. So I'm going to be using this 7.5 quart Dutch oven. You are also going to want a food processor. This is going to make your life way easier when it comes to prepping your dog's food. You'll need a cutting board, some sharp knives, and a kitchen scale that weighs in grams and ounces. If we were to measure things in cups, it's really easy to get a lot of variation based on the way that you're chopping up the ingredients. It's very important to be super accurate and precise when you're measuring everything out, so definitely get your kitchen scale so you can weigh everything accurately. And lastly, you're going to want some form of container to put the food in once it's prepped. I am not a huge fan of plastic Tupperware, so I'm going to be using these glass containers, and this size will fit 4 to 5 days worth of food for my 10-pound dog. If you're interested in checking out any of the products that I'm using in this video, everything is going to be linked in the description below. And for the base recipe, you're just going to need about 2.8 pounds of 93% lean ground turkey, 560 grams of sweet potato, 250 grams of broccoli, and 250 grams of carrots, 132 grams of egg whites, which is about 4 large eggs, 15 grams of sunflower oil, and 10 grams of salmon oil. Now, if you were to stop here and not add any other supplements to this recipe, it would be deficient in these 12 essential nutrients. And that brings me to the golden rule of homemade pet food, which is to ensure that it is complete and balanced. Feeding your pet a nutrient deficient diet long-term can lead to a multitude of different health issues, so it's crucial to add the right ingredients and the right supplements so that your pet gets all the nutrients they need. One of my favorite ways to do this when I'm short on time is by using the Farmer's Dog do-it-yourself nutrient mix. This meal completer makes it super easy to cover every nutritional gap. You just cook the ingredients, mix it in, and you've got a complete and balanced meal for your dog. No need for multiple supplements or prepping huge amounts of whole food ingredients. And every vitamin is sourced from an FDA-regulated manufacturer and 100% human grade. Now, this mix is only meant to be paired with the recipes inside of the Farmer's Dog DIY program, but each DIY plan is designed to meet your dog's unique nutritional needs, and there are lots of different recipes to choose from, including some for puppies. And they were all created by board-certified veterinary nutritionists, so you can rotate through different proteins and recipes without worrying about deficiencies. Remember that feeding a nutrient-deficient diet to your pet long-term can come with serious health risks, but the DIY program from the Farmer's Dog makes it super easy to feed complete and balanced homemade meals. And to make it even easier on you, the Farmer's Dog will auto-ship it on a schedule that works for you and your pet, so you don't have to remember to order it, and you can cancel it at any time. If you're ready to dive into this tutorial and you want to make sure that your pet's meals are complete and balanced using the Farmer's Dog DIY nutrient mix, I have linked it for you guys in the description below. Let's jump into the one pot recipe tutorial. First up, you're going to place your pot or your Dutch oven on medium to medium high heat. Then pour your sunflower oil in and spread it evenly to coat the bottom. Add your ground turkey to the pot, break it apart, and stir until the meat is fully cooked. Then you can add your sweet potatoes, carrots, and broccoli and cook until tender when pierced with a fork. Next, add your egg whites, stir to evenly distribute, and cook them until they are firm and no longer runny. You can add your salmon oil to the pot and then remove it from the heat. And lastly, a 9-day supply of food for my 10-pound dog called for 1 packet of the Farmer's Dog nutrient mix. Once everything is prepped, go ahead and put the food into your meal prep containers. You can store these in the fridge for up to 4 days. If a single batch is going to last you longer than 4 days, store the remainder in the freezer. So that is it, you guys. This recipe only took me 30 minutes to put together, and here is the full cost breakdown for a 30-day supply of this food for my 10-pound dog. Now, of course, if you have a larger dog, it is going to be a bit more expensive, but if your dog is 3 times the size of my dog, let's say they're 30 pounds, it won't necessarily be 3 times more expensive. 1, because you can buy in bulk and it's often going to be cheaper, and 2, because calorie requirements for dogs are not linear. So your dog is not going to need need, again, if they're 30 pounds, exactly 3 times the amount of calories as my dog does. There is some variation there, and it also depends on your dog's lifestyle, if they're neutered or not. There's so many different factors that affect their calorie requirements. Now, if you find that this meal is still too expensive, it's not in the budget, there are other options you can consider. You could feed half of their portion of this balanced meal and use your pet's kibble for the other half. That's going to help cut down the cost significantly and make these batches last longer. Now, if you happen to need any help with how much to feed your dog, how to combo feed your dog, or if you want to learn how to create fully customized balanced recipes for their specific needs, check out my mini course, The Ultimate Guide to Homemade Pet Food. It only takes 2 hours to complete and walks you step by step through the process of how to fully customize homemade meals for your dog or cat based on their unique needs. I have also linked that in the description if you're interested, and please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if there are any topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. See you guys next time.